Yeah. I'm gonna look up this thing for this guy because he said I was supposed to have had a stream on the 10th of August, and I was like, I don't know. Let's see here. Good thing I put the dates on everything, I guess. Okay, so I don't see anything for the 10th. I think something was missed or something. Let's see what my journal says. What did I do on the... Oh, I don't know if I noted that in my journal. Let's see here. On the 10th. I should have. I should do that next time. I don't know if my cell phone... I think I napped that day. I think that's what it was. There was one day that I napped. And then I ended up not streaming. I'm pretty sure that was it. I don't know. Yeah. Technology leaders with President Trump. That's more than what Prime Minister Carney has to say. Hopefully it's something encouraging for the Western world, whatever is left over of that. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't even know. I probably never did know what was going on. I just had a lot of allusions to what may be.
Finance. It's a who's who with us today. It's amazing that you don't know some of these people. But anybody in finance knows every one of them. And I want to thank them for it.
Hello, Jayla Borat. I mean, yeah, it sounds familiar. Where are you from? I'm listening to this Trump thing talking about technology. I always want to hear leaders talking about technology and what they have to say if it's something helpful. Who are we? Patty Poro. Hello. And I don't know, Izzo33PY? This is Pa.
Welcome some of our nation's brightest minds in finance, crypto, and technology ahead of the first ever meeting of the CFTC's Innovation Advisory Committee in Washington, D.C. This is a group of very smart people that are on a committee
Lebanon.
to recommend what we do. Right, Paul? They're going to be telling us a little bit, but I think Paul knows maybe more than anyone.
How am I? Sazi. Oh, I wish my eyes weren't so squinty right now, but I can't see because the light's kind of... the wind, fans blowing. Sazgati? I don't know. I don't know. How am I? I'm conflicted, I guess. I have too much and not enough going on. Like, I should be going through my RV and decluttering. And yeah, I need to find a way to incentivize myself to go do that. Whether it's like listening to something specific that's like motivating or interesting. I don't know what. Oh, you're Indian. Oh, okay. Thanks for asking how I am. So do you live in India? Or do you live next door? I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, you are in India. Oh, okay. Are you east or west, south, north, central? Okay. Got the banana. Oh, I need a new crunchy peanut butter. My favorite. Oof. North. Okay. Northeast or northwest?
Well, he's doing a great job. We're all happy with Paul, I think, right? He's been absolutely fantastic.
Hi. I don't know how to read
Crypto
your
markets and
Japanese
prediction
name.
markets and conventional finance.
I don't know how to read Japanese for sure, but I know it's Japanese. I studied it a little teeny tiny little bit on Duolingo. And yeah, there's that one character that I think is Japanese anyway. It's definitely possible for me to be wrong, but yeah, that's Japanese. Shige. Oh my gosh. 212. Hi. Hello, that's nice. Patito Perot. That's fun to say. Patito Perot.
To decentralized finance. The people in this room are ensuring that the future of commercial markets is pioneered and perfected. Right here in the USA, we're fighting a lot of other countries to control these markets and to have these markets and to profit and all the jobs and everything else created. And we're doing well. We're leading in every aspect.
I'm from Canada.
And we're leading by a lot. And we want to keep it that way. I want to thank the chairman of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Mike Selick, for his tremendous leadership. And come here. Thank you, Mike. I didn't recognize you from someplace. And thanks as well to a very special man, a man that everybody respected for a long time. Yeah, he's a man I wanted to do this job, head of the SEC.
Yeah,
Chairman Paul Atkins, who's also doing an outstanding job in everything else he touches. He's doing a lot of things for the country, so I want to thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. We're also pleased to be joined by the Executive Director of the President's Council, with advisors with the digital asset. All of the digital assets are all put into one, Patrick Witt, and many other top industry leaders, including Coinbase. Where's Brian? Brian Armstrong, CEO. He's one of the greats. Where is he? Where are you? Oh, you look well. You look much. You look good. CEO of International.
Where are you from? Iran.
Continental Exchange. Jeff Sprecher, one of the things, a little thing called the New York Stock Exchange. He owns a thing called the New York Stock Exchange. Quite a nice asset, right?
How's the weather?
CEO of NASDAQ, Adina Friedman. Thank you very much, Adina. Great job you're doing. CEO of Robinhood, Vlad Tenev. Thank you. Vlad, nice to see you. And CEO of Kraken, Arjun Sethi. And thank you very much, wherever you are. Thank you very much. Great group of people. We also have some others here that we wanted them. It's where's Mike, co-founder of CEO of CTO and president of BitGo, which is a big deal in the world of that little thing that's happening out there. And Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. Brad, thank you very much, Brad. Sergey Nazarov, co-founder of Chainlink Labs. Thank you very much. Good, Sergey. Good job. Arjan, you're here. Arjan, you're here. You haven't left. Peter Smith is here, and Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss have tremendous people, tremendous investors, brilliant people. Chris Dixon is here, and I sort of got anybody I didn't mention. Pretty much.
What do you love?
They gave me 4 sets of lists, and that's always a little complex. You never want to say one more than 3 times. Under the crooked Joe Biden administration, the spirit of innovation that built America was under serious attack like never before, and nowhere was that more true than crypto and other new financial technologies, where we were going to be taken to the cleaners by China and other countries. The radical left tried to crush these developments with crippling regulations, brutal restriction. They used weaponization, political weaponization, and constant targeting that drove innovation overseas, and they wanted to drive it out. And at the end of toward the end of the campaign, if you remember, they decided they liked it very much because there were over 100 million people that were liking Trump a lot more because I was in favor of it. They were against it. They became very much in favor of it, but by that time, it was too late. And besides, those days are all over. That was a terrible period of time for a lot of very good, very honorable financial people. On day one, we fired Joe Biden's rogue SEC chair, Gary Gensler. I think we like Paul better. Do we agree? We like Paul better? Number one, he's smarter. He's also smarter, by the way. But we fired him. We got him the hell out of here. We terminated the so-called Operation Choke Point 2.0, which is what the name of their operation was, weaponization. And we ended the war on crypto once and for all. And it's been booming. It's been doing big. And nobody's been able to break in. China would like to break in. They're still trying, but they haven't been able to. I signed a historic executive order banning any attempt to create a a central bank digital currency. We launched Project Crypto to modernize rules so that our financial markets can move into blockchain technology. I established the United States Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, making Bitcoin a permanent asset of the United States Treasury, which has turned out incredibly well. I also created the United States Digital Asset Stockpile to hold custody of all other digital assets, and that's exactly what it's done. It's been amazing. 1 year ago this summer, I signed landmark legislation known as the Genius Act. I named it after myself. I didn't want to use my name, so I just called it the Genius Act, paving the way for widespread adoption of dollar-backed stablecoins. And that's worked out very well. Every single American benefits enormously from our country's status as the financial center of the world, and we want to keep it that way. We're leading by leaps and bounds. We've gained so much in the last 16 months like nobody can believe, actually. Not only that, but we have more money being invested in the United States than any country at any time in history. Money's coming in by the trillions. Our nation's economic dominance drives trillions of dollars of investments, creates millions of jobs, and expands access, credit, and capital so that every citizen has a chance to achieve what we now hear a lot about, the American dream. Young people are looking for the American dream. They weren't thinking about that 2 years ago. Financial technologies are extending this to the 21st century, and that's why we're focused on creating a clear regulatory framework for pioneers and builders like the people that are with me here. Business with confidence in American soil. They don't have to go to other countries to do their business.
Back here.
We're sure that America remains the undisputed leader, not only in Bitcoin and crypto, but also technologies like prediction markets, artificial intelligence, and much more. And we're leading in every single one. And I will tell you, the AI, the artificial intelligence, we're way ahead of number two. Number two is China. And I never want to underestimate China, but right now we're way ahead. President Xi's coming on September 24th. We look forward to it. We'll probably be talking about AI and a lot of other things. But we're doing tremendously well, largely because of people and some other friends of ours that are on the board. And they'll be here in 2 weeks, I understand. In May, Chairman Selig authorized the first ever true Bitcoin perpetual futures contract on a CFTC registered exchange. First time. I understand that Mike is also working to bring hyperliquid into the United States in a fully compliant and legal fashion. Working very hard on that. We would really like to see interest rates come down. You know, in the old days with interest rates, many of you are too young to know this, but when we announced good numbers, interest rates would go down. And the theory was because the asset value became so good, it became so prime. But now when we announce good numbers, which we're doing all the time, they keep driving the interest rates up because they're so afraid of inflation. And they shouldn't be. They should allow interest rates to go down. When you announce good numbers, you shouldn't drive them up. They keep thinking that we'll drive them up to stop inflation because success and growth does not cause inflation. Other things cause inflation. We inherited the #1 inflation ever in the history of our country from Biden. And it lifted prices and everything else, and we're getting them all down. But interest rates should be allowed to fall with the success of our country, not rise because of the success. But we're also on the very beginning of a revolution in fictional and financial. You take a look at some of the things that are being done on a financial basis and the financial technology that's the potential to create more jobs, opportunity, and wealth for all Americans. And that's what it's doing, is creating jobs and great wealth. And I think that can't be better seen by the stock market. So we've had 80 in a short period of time, a year and a half. We've had 80 days where the stock market hit all-time highs. I haven't looked today. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't look. I don't want to look. But I hear it's good. But we've had 80 days, Jeff, where the stock market has hit an all-time high. And nobody's ever seen anything like that. And I think bringing it down to another level, and maybe a higher level from the standpoint of importance, the 401ks have hit highs on almost 40%.
Thanks for joining.
President of the United States. Tens of millions of people. 401ks are at record numbers. So 2 years ago, our country was dead, and now our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world. There's nobody close. No other country is close, and every country will admit it. So now we need Congress to take the next step by passing the Clarity Act, a fair version of the Clarity Act, and this landmark structure legislation. And it's a very, very powerful structured legislation which will keep us ahead of China, keep us ahead of everyone else. Will open the door to the next wave of innovations and innovators. So I'd like to ask Chairman Selig to say a few words and a little bit of the details about what we're doing, and then we'll follow it up with Chairman Atkins and Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong, Intercontinental Exchange CEO Jeff Sprecher, Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev, and Kraken CEO Arjan. So we have that all set, and let's get going. And you know what? If you want to speak for a very short period of time, that's okay too.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to be here with you and this exceptional group of business leaders. Thanks to your leadership, the era of political lawfare, debanking, and regulation by enforcement is over. Innovators like the people in this room are welcome to the White House, not railroaded to the Big House. And the new frontier of finance is being built right here in the United States of America. From day one, this president has made clear: America will not fall behind and allow other countries to take its place as the greatest country on earth to build a new technology, operate a business, and invest for the future. The world will run on the backbone of American technology. Under President Trump's leadership, we've codified the Genius Act, established a strategic Bitcoin reserve, drawn a clear line in the sand between crypto securities and commodities, launched the first U.S. crypto perpetual, and protected the rights of software developers. We've exiled Gary Gensler, defeated the anti-crypto army, and made the United States the crypto capital of the world. I'm proud to be working with Secretary Lutnick and the Department of Commerce as well to make America the compute capital of the world. This may be the most important commodity of our day. Some call it digital oil. And America needs to dominate these markets to win the AI race. We've also protected federally regulated prediction markets from rogue state attorneys generals like Letitia James, who seek to nullify federal law and drive these markets offshore to unregulated and foreign venues. American dominance in the technologies that will define the future remains unmatched. We are truly in a golden age of American innovation. Now, the United States has a choice. We can either write the rules that define the next generation of financial markets, or we can let other countries write them for us. With Congress advancing the Clarity Act towards the finish line, we stand ready to implement the bill once the president signs it. But we'll use every tool available to move the president's pro-innovation agenda forward in the meantime. Tomorrow, at the inaugural meeting of the CFTC's Innovation Advisory Committee, I look forward to sharing more details on our regulatory path forward. A path forward that provides greater certainty for innovators while reinforcing confidence in our markets for decades to come. This president has assembled an extraordinary team of entrepreneurs, builders, investors, and business leaders advising in government, like David Sachs, of course, and Patrick Witt. This real-world experience has already brought valuable perspectives into policymaking and will continue to pay dividends for the American people. Innovation depends on regulatory clarity. Clear rules create confidence. Confidence attracts investment, and investment creates jobs, strengthens our markets, and keeps the world's best talent building here in America. Mr. President, thank you again for your leadership and for making American innovation great again. The work we're doing now to shape the future of our great nation will do measures for decades to come. Now, I'm honored to introduce the most pro-innovation, pro-free market SEC chairman in America's history, and it's not Gary Gensler, of course, it's Paul Atkins. So, Mr. Chairman, please.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Mr. President, for having us here today. From day one, you've made our nation's financial dominance and innovation job one. We at the SEC are delivering on your agenda. We're making IPOs great, continuing your theme of cutting red tape that discourages companies from going public. Under your leadership, Mr. President, the IPO market is booming. Since inauguration day, 583 companies have gone public, and that's up 75% compared to the final year and a half of the Biden administration. And those companies have raised an impressive $208 billion, and that's nearly 4 times the amount raised during the final year and a half of the previous administration. So that's just not incremental progress. That is a turnaround. You've committed to making the United States the crypto capital of the world. And yesterday, the SEC, I'm proud to say, took another significant step to deliver on that. Our proposal, the crypto assets rule, would provide entrepreneurs like those here in this room and job creators the certainty to raise capital in the United States using digital assets. This action is consonant with our belief that the most important priority is for Congress to send the Clarity Act to your desk for your signature. And the SEC is doing everything we can to support that work. So thank you again, Mr. President, for leading this nation to ensure that we continue to have the strongest markets in the world, to reshore innovation, and to welcome, yes, a whole new generation of investors through the companies. So under your leadership, we will make sure that the greatest advances of the technological frontier are right here in America. Thank you very much.
Well, this morning I was thinking back to the 2024 campaign where the president, I think, very astutely recognized there was millions of voters in the United States who felt disenfranchised by the prior administration. And he made a commitment at that time to make America the crypto capital of the world. And within weeks of taking office, delivered on that promise. And started first with this executive order, which came out ordering the agencies in his administration to take steps in this direction. Shortly thereafter, appointed 2 of the most competent and pro-innovation regulators anywhere in the world, Chair Seelig and Chair Atkins, and of course fired Gary Gensler. There was that big applause line at the big conference, which was powerful. And of course, the Genius Act was another milestone just in the past year, along with the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, etc. And just this week, I have to commend Chair Atkins for publishing this new rule that allows crypto projects to raise capital in the U.S. for the first time. There's clarity on that. And Chair Seelig, we're excited to attend the advisory committee meeting tomorrow to make progress there. So an incredible amount of progress has been made, and I think what's most important next, of course, is this September 15th vote that we have with the Clarity Act. This would make all of the progress that this administration has made durable into the future, so it can survive for decades and decades to come. And make no mistake, there are folks out there who they want to see this legislation not happen. Right? Maybe some of the big banks don't want the competition for crypto companies. Other banks are leaning in and have endorsed it, which I think is really powerful. And so if we all come together, I think we can get this bill over the finish line and hopefully get more than 60 votes on September 15th. Thank you.
Very much.
That's true. A lot of Democrats. There's hundreds of pages of changes that have come in from the Democrat side as well as a true bipartisan compromise, and yeah, it's a great piece. It's a great product. So up next, I think is Jeff.
Mr. President, I just wanted to tell you that your trade policies of fair trade bring back jobs and businesses from overseas. Your energy dominance policies to fuel the next generation of technology in the United States. Your big, beautiful bill that created incentives for investments has led to the records that you're hearing about in our stock markets, the record number of IPOs. And as you know from working with my wife who works on private businesses, there's a record number of business formations in this country right now. So we're here to talk about how to evolve regulation so that we don't impede that progress.
Well, I finished my dinner. I guess I'd be wise to know to eat for the rest of the evening. Should be able to handle that much. Oof. Well, yeah. So thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Especially thank you for commenting because it gives me something to work with. So yeah, I'll do a sleep stream tonight, probably. And thank you for joining. I'll see your comments in the next stream. Bye.